If there was one place that Bruce Lee would like to be right this minute, it would be right here, because he would like to have a few words to say about his friend and student, Bob. But I'm here to represent Bruce and our family, to honor, to pay respects, to celebrate the life of Bob. Bruce thought Bob was just a great student. He was big and strong, and he could fight. He thought he could fight in the gym, he could fight on the street. And he was fast, especially for a big guy. And when he wasn't cracking jokes or having fun, which was what Bob did a lot of, he loved to tell stories, he could be fierce. You might think, I often thought that Bob was like a big teddy bear, but as I'm sure all of you know, he could turn into a grizzly bear too. He liked to play practical jokes. He liked to plan practical jokes, and sometimes he would think of things to play on Bruce, but that wasn't a good idea because the king of practical jokes was Bruce. So anyway, they'd go back and forth a lot. And then after the Chinatown school closed, Bob came to our house frequently and worked out with Bruce. And Bruce just loved working out with Bob. And every student that Bruce had a different body type or ability or temperament. And Bruce would kind of scope that out. Now, Bob was unique in his speed and his size and his determination. He absorbed the lessons that Bruce taught like a sponge. We sure did have a lot of really good times back in the backyard days. Anyway, it's been nearly 40 years since Bruce passed away, and all this time, Bob has kept up training and teaching in order to preserve the art of Jeet Kune Do. Because, as you know, Jeet Kune Do has many versions around the world, but there are just really a handful of people who know the real Jeet Kune Do as Bruce taught. And Bob was certainly one of those, and he has passed it on to all of you that have participated in the famous or infamous Wednesday night schools. and now, as Jeremy was saying, Bob has not just passed on, but he has passed on the responsibility of trying to keep Jeet Kune Do alive, the Jeet Kune Do that Bruce was teaching. So I pass that on to all of you as you sit here. Bob also took part in the beginnings of the Nucleus, which was a group of original and second generation students that came together in the 90s to help to perpetuate Bruce's art. Bob would participate in all the seminars. The Nucleus morphed into what is now the Bruce Lee Foundation. And Bob has always been a supporter of the goals of the foundation and of the family. And in all the years that have passed, Bob never had a bad word to say about what the goals of the family were, so we always did appreciate that. I have been a close personal friend of Bob and of Sharon for many, many years now. And I always had the feeling that if my family ever needed anything, Bob would be there to help us. And that's a really nice, secure feeling to have. Bob was a good man. He was a good husband to Evelyn and to Sharon. And I must say that he had his own very personal angel in Sharon, because she took care of him all through their marriage, and especially in the years when he was in failing health. Bob didn't have an easy time trying to get out of this life. He was fighting to the last minute, as you would expect. But I feel he's probably in a much better place right now, up there with Bruce and Brandon and Ted and Herb and Jerry and who else am I leaving now?
Eric.
There you go. And this group is getting smaller and smaller. We really need to treasure our treasures. Well, and as I've said, many times, and you've heard it again here today. I love Bob very much. I respected him as a man, as a fighter, as a student, as a teacher. And in martial arts and in life, Bob Bremer really was the real deal.